Alright, I just want to go ahead and say this now. I am taking melatonin right now for two reasons. One, Season of the Worthy drops tomorrow morning. Secondly, I want to be there for friends. So, bear with me in the loading screen, title screen, whatever you want to call it. But I just want to say this now. Some of my subscribers know this. They know me by many names. And very few of my subscribers know me by one name to say. Yes, I am a furry if you haven't already picked that up. It's quite obvious, but to the ones that know this channel and know me, to my beloved dears, my pets, and my family, I want you all to know, especially if you're not in the Discord server, that you are loved. You will never be forgotten and you will never be thrown aside. This is my promise to you. To those who know me in the past and actually had something with me, or to those of you who actually care to remember me, I'm still watching over you. I still care. And the last thing I want is for any of you to be hurt. This goes for Xeno, this goes for Axis. Hell, this even goes for the people that really piss me off in this game. If I care about you, then that's that. It doesn't change, it doesn't go away, it doesn't fade. I care for all of you. This is a pagan's bond. To those I've explained it to, may that thin glimmer of a light guide you through your darkest times. And know it is me standing there, helping you through it all. Now, let's hope I can get a hold of this bloody angel and ask of its strategic help to get me through what I've been trying to do for so long. Our clock is about 2 hours and 30 minutes before this takes effect and I start to pass out. I also have a notebook by my side. I've been neglecting some people I've been trying to draw and I just can't bring myself to it. If you're on the Twitter, you've seen my poll. The options for two pictures that I had mentally, which are linked to songs, one of which was Acid Rain and the other was Full Circle. The vote passed with only one person for Full Circle. I'm going to attempt to draw this by the end of the week. I may finish it tomorrow, I may finish it Friday. We never know, but we will see. Come now, bloody angel, break off your chains and give me the strength I need. fear that no one will understand what I had said earlier. That fear does not stand before me. It never will, and it never shall. Bear with me. I'm just looking at whatever shaders, primarily the red ones, that would look good on this warlock to give that name I had spoken earlier more purpose. God, I forgot how they really butchered Crucible engrams in this game. You know? I think this one will work. For now, of course. Oh, that's cute. How many shaders do I have? Disgusting. Everybody knows Vanguard. That Vanguard shit looks like gross, disgusting shit. We're just gonna go ahead and get rid of some of these shaders because I don't even know why I have all these. Like, I think what I originally said was I was gonna like hold on to them until they got like 5 of each, and then I just throw them all away because that's how the fucking Cryptarch recycles your shit anyway, asshole. And I hope y'all know this. I dislike the Cryptarch. I really, really do. So we're going to pick up a few of these. We're going to go ahead and just... Fuck, man. I don't know. Like, I definitely got to get my Warlock some decent armor. So we're just going to put one on here just in case. Could look better. Especially on that helmet. But I know on this it's actually going to look decent. And aside from the whole art thing, I do also have some promises I have been neglecting for some of my friends. And despite I had paid off the one to the love of my life, I do owe him another. Because that's just me. I do believe that he deserves another one that isn't just strictly anything else. Good God, why is it the Warlock bonds are so fucking weird? It is so difficult to find a good Warlock bond on this game. Like, goddamn. I guess that'll work. don't feel bad if I just go off and stare into space or whatever. I am messaging some people as well. I've had a few people that they do have a bond with me. They're not my loved life. They're just very close friends that I would like to consider more family than friends. And with that said, I can tell that they were going through some rough times. They needed somebody there. And me being the person I am, offered myself to be there for them. Now, let's continue the train wreck that we had started. Going back in, I'm not going to talk about the encounters. I'm not going to talk about the raid itself, or not even the raid. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm just going to be talking as I normally would, and we're just going to go from there. Now, I do need some channel feedback. I do need some stuff from you viewers. Like, what would y'all like me to see? The new season's starting out. I don't know what the weapon quests are going to be like, if they're going to be grindy or they're going to be quick, or we don't know. But what I can say without any shadow of doubt, I would really like to start getting into some challenges in this game. For those of you who are veterans of the channel, y'all remember I used to do random wheels for Crucible, for Gambit, you know, just boring shit to get me through the day. Well, it's going to be tricky to do stuff like that. As I've already said, I've also wanted to upgrade the old streaming setup. I'm currently in the middle of trying to find a better paying job, something that's actually going to provide me with the funds that I need to do so. And I will be asking an old friend of mine for any advice he can give me as far as a decent PC to run some games, if not just to record some stuff and all that, because he plays this game on PC, not a whole lot, but he does play it. He also started playing Monster Hunter on PC, so I'm gonna again ask him. It's like, hey, what can I do to really, you know, to kind of bump myself up? I do still need to get a intro made for the channel, and with that, I'm willing to take, like, even if you're new to making intros and you just want to, like, kind of spread your name around, I'll happily, we can discuss something. Unfortunately, payment is off the table for me because, well, just for any fucking reason, it's just, I can't really do much. It's not that I don't want to support somebody like that. I want to support a whole lot of people, a whole lot of artists, rather. It's just that the way things are going with my life right now, I'm not making the money to do so. I also have a lot of stuff that I need to pay for myself. The whole medical BS and all that, we all heard Veal's story, so I'm not going to bore y'all with it. But I do want to just make it clear as day. Again, I'm still taking donations. If anyone feels like helping out, you will be thanked heavily for it. You will be rewarded at some date, some later date to be determined. I haven't talked with Xeno about it much because I haven't really had any people donating, but I will talk with her and see if she's still willing to offer those doodles for anybody who is who has donated to me, because that is how that part in the description at the very top is started. She did offer out, if anybody was to donate $5 or more, that she would give them a little personalized doodle. And she is a very amazing artist. She's been improving so much over the last couple of months that it is actually a surprise to me. And honestly, yeah, her commission prices, they're up there, but you also got to realize artists don't really get the most money that they deserve. They definitely deserve more. And I wish I could actually help them out. I wish I could do some little collab types of pictures with them, but alas, I can't. I've basically lost that artistic bone that I used to have, and I mean, it's sad because I still got people looking at all my old work and going, dude, why don't you try drawing something anymore? Like, I've had coworkers asking me to draw something, and I look at them and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you there. It's not that I don't want to, it's more of I just don't think I can. Because the last thing I want to do is open up for commissions, actually get somebody who's willing to pay, and have to refund them because I just couldn't draw. That's already happened once, and it made me feel like a complete dirtbag. Because I want to do stuff for people. I don't want to just do it for me. So I'm gonna try to get back into drawing if I can. I'll let everybody on Twitter know, hey, I'm opening commissions, I'm gonna start doing some stuff. I might just keep it traditional. That's just, you know, my personal thing there. I prefer traditional artwork because it takes more skill to actually do it all on paper before you do it anywhere else. And yeah, I can easily transfer it from paper to digital if you really want it. I can't guarantee it will look great because I don't typically do that, and most of my artwork is also uncolored. But I'll, you know, yeah, take baby steps to get to where you really want to be, you know? So it's going to be a long little road. We're going to try to do what we can. And from there on, it's all a matter of time. Now, I want to give a little bit of context to the title of the stream. Whether people want to buy into it, believe it, or whatever. I mean, we already know. Yeah, I'm pagan. There's really no shocker, no surprise there. It's just what I am, what I'm going to continue to be, and it's the one thing that makes the most sense in my entire life. Christianity never made sense to me. When I was dating one of my old, well, can't really say anything good about him, but one of my exes, he was trying to explain how, he was trying to explain the whole Catholic side, and it never really stuck. So we're just going to keep pushing away from that. Most religions, to me, they don't make sense. Only because, well, let's just be honest. Damn near every religion, no matter how you look at it, is derived from one starting point. You can look at every religion and you can find key differences that match up with everything else, despite anybody wanting to say, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense, or oh yeah, I guess that does make sense, or, you know, there's a lot of people that will defend their religion to the grave. And my grandparents being such people. Now, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not gonna go ahead and say, you know, your religion's wrong, because that's far from what I want to say. Because, again, we all have that freedom to choose, that freedom to be. And when it comes to me, I'm just glad my family, for what it is, was willing to accept that I was pagan. And they were even willing of me being gay. I'm very happy with all this, because I know a lot of people that actually go through a life fearing living in a closet, not just for sexuality's sake, but for everything, because their parents are a certain way. And to all of you, it's alright. I used to be there with you. I keep everything secret to the best of my ability, because I don't know how the world is going to turn and react to it. We've already seen just how awful this world is, how it can hurt everybody, how it can break you down, and try to make you something you're not. And unfortunately, it's not fun. I don't know why I keep listening to the music I do. I guess it just has a certain connection to how I feel at times. Alright, H and that equal sign. So, I guess we can start talking. Let's go ahead and poke at the elephant in the room, Destiny server-wise. So, we already know that, one, the fourth horseman's coming back. Some of us are happy about that, some of us are actually kind of pissed. It all has its time, it all has its place. However, the things that we don't know is when they're coming out. Bungie has decided to take the vow of silence, as most people would say it, because people were a little unhappy about how they revealed the exotics and the drop date, and some people were even able to data mine the quest. Now, I'm the same way. I'm far from happy when people do that. So, I'm actually glad that they're keeping it all hidden. I'm not going to be happy if somebody on PC is just like, oh yeah, I know exactly when the exotics are coming out, and I already know the quest steps. Keep it to yourself. Some of us actually want to enjoy the quest for what it is, and some of us actually want to try and figure it out for ourselves. So, if you're on a PC, you play Destiny religiously, and you immediately think that just because you found out the whole, oh, I know what exotics are coming, I know when they're doing.
How do you feel about the new idea for the expiration dates for gear?
Hold on a tick. Sorry, I actually got to pull up the comments on my phone because I didn't hear a lick of that. Alright, nothing's near me, that's good. Kill off everything. Press play on that. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dear, I'm sorry, but I think that's probably one of the worst things Bungie has ever said that they were going to do. I had a talk about this with one of my old friends. I've had talks about this with current players, and we all agree that, one, the whole the expiration dates for our exotics, our legendaries, and everything,
Agreed.
We all agree that it's very, very, very stupid. It is by far, first off, Bungie has broken the promise that they made to us at the start of D2's life cycle, saying that they will never do it.
Everyone in my guild is raging about it, RN.
Well, yeah. Because, remember, Bungie promised saying, we're not going to make you throw away your own gear, we're not getting rid of it. But now, with all that they've said, with what they're coming out with, it's basically them saying, oh, yeah, we said that, but we didn't mean it literally. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be between, like, a few seasons before they're officially going to make that change to where gear cannot be infused, and once that change goes into effect, it's going to be a predetermined level, but it's not something that we want. No Destiny player is going to rise up and say, it's about time that those weapons got left in the damn dust. Why? Because we don't want a repeat of D1. That's what D2 is not supposed to be. It's why the majority of stuff from D2 doesn't match up with D1. It's why the most overpowered subclasses from D1 aren't in D2. It's why half the exotics from D1 aren't in D2. It's literally just all that in a nutshell. This is supposed to be a different game, and Bungie is or I can't say is now, but they were attempting their best to make sure that this game was a different game. Now, with the whole expiration date to armor and weapons, that's basically shoving a middle finger down the throat of anybody.
For example, my roommate grinded sundial for 80 hours for his desired role for Swift Feather Repeater, Saint 1 for auto rifle.
Dear, I want you to... What I can advise to you, if he's around and willing to actually watch the stream, I will go ahead and explain how the how this decision is actually going to work, all the changes, all the differences, everything. I'll explain it to the best of my ability from what I've read and what I've heard. Of course he's not there.
Here
Well, be sure to write this down, but the expiration dates don't go into effect immediately. What's going to happen is, if they start it this upcoming season, i.e. tomorrow, which everyone in the community is deciding it, but what's going to happen is the weapons are going to start deteriorating from Forsaken when all that broken shit was taking place. Like, for example, I probably don't have much but one on this character. Well, I have two technically. We got Mountaintop, we got Recluse, I have both the Pinnacle hand cannons, not forgotten, and Luna's Howl. I also have the Revoker. This doesn't even count as shit because it's garbage. But to all the Pinnacle weapons and the Ritual weapons, what's going to happen is it's going to start in Forsaken. So everything from Forsaken and all the expansions coming with it. So you've got Forsaken, you have Black Armory, you have Season of Opulence, Season of a Drifter, all that stuff. That's going to get affected first. And it's going to be affected after a few months.
To be honest, Pinnacle weapons was a bad idea in the first place.
You know, I can't say that you're wrong and I can't say that you're right, because I actually... When it came to the...
Not good for preventing power creep.
This isn't, just giving this as a heads up, this isn't, for example, this isn't Magic the Gathering. Power creep in Destiny doesn't truly exist. There's always something to combat whatever's there, whatever's going to stop the game, stop the players from just overall bullshitting. It's why all these patches and everything come into play. It's where all these new shifting meta ideas come from. That's all that is. That's to combat the power creeping. But what really strikes it for most players, and this is my own little experience talk here, is when, yeah, they bring out something that's meant to combat it completely, but it's taken the wrong way and people still find a way to abuse the system. It's why I've been playing on my Titans so much, because in Crucible, Titans are broken. Yeah, not so much now anymore, but Titans used to be
it's less about power
fear.
And more about every Guardian runs Recluse. Why? Cause it's too good.
Recluse isn't as broken on console as it is on PC, and you know this. You play it on PC. You know exactly why it's ran and used and abused on PC. Because, unfortunately, PC doesn't have to worry about, one, recoil. They can make that thing a laser beam if they want to, because their mouse controls where they're aiming. Would I ever play Destiny 2 on a PC? Maybe. I have no shame. I probably would. If I had a computer, if I had all that stuff, if someone was to just donate that to me, for fuck's sake, hell yeah, I'd play it. But that's not gonna make it any different, because tried and true, I'm a console player. I started with Destiny back on PS4 in... or no, not even PS4. PS3, back in 2014.
Cross save for the win.
Yeah, remind me, I still gotta go set that up on my Bungie account later. Like, every time I try to set it up, it just doesn't want to work. Okay, the last symbol. Ugh. This is gonna suck. It's all the way down there. Ah, yes, the Bridge Guardians. Fuck you. See, what I
If I
really
could
was
get
hoping...
PSN, I could play with you with my Guardian.
Oh, I know, sweetheart. I know. If you haven't already, there should be... I'd like to say it's 3 month, but it's actually a week of free PSN. It's like the whole new accounts starting up, see if you like it type of deal. But I would recommend that if you haven't already used it, because you could do that. However, if you ever see me playing, like, Pit of Heresy, for example, what I'm playing now, if I don't have a team with me, it's for a reason. I've been trying to grind out this entire dungeon solo for months. Now, a lot of people are saying it's easy.
Sadly.
Ah, that does suck. But as we all continue going on, why the hell are there... Oh no. Oh no. That's why I hate ogres. Oh, I bloody hate ogres so very much.
I hate screechers more.
SB, sweetheart, I'm gonna be honest with you. Shriekers in this game are not as dangerous.
The floating crystals of death they are.
You, my dear, have not played D1. Shriekers in this game are a cakewalk compared to what they used to be. And I'm not even going to deny that. Shriekers in D1 were horrifying. And the fact that they used them in some of the worst fucking places... Nightfalls.
Yes, I did.
Then you should remember, D1 Shriekers are the worst. Here's the only ones you gotta remember that made D1 Shriekers the worst. When it comes to raids, Crota's End. That's the only one. And I guess you could kinda count King's Fall, but I don't really because it wasn't that big of a deal. Crota's End Shriekers were everywhere. They're annoying. They're awful. And I actually prefer D2 Shriekers because they've changed the mechanics. They made them less annoying and overall kind of less hostile.
Or Nightfall, never good at using LFG Reddit.
I don't use LFG
never
Reddit.
Did King's Fall, only did Vault of Glass.
Ah, good old VOG. Dear, I strongly advise to, on your phone, this is what I do. There is a Bungie companion app that has built-in LFG that actually works a lot better than the Reddit page ever did. And this is coming from the guy who's used the Reddit page, who's used the guided games service in D2 to do Last Wish, and some Nightfalls. So, I'm just going to be honest. The companion app is basically the best way to do it.
When I was playing. Which was day one, only cause my friend got it for me on Xbox so he wouldn't play alone.
Aw, poor kindergartens. You see, I keep getting a lot of friends that are saying that they want to try out D2, but they don't know where to start. And I mean, I try to say, hey, I stream that game quite often, you should check out my channel. Don't have to sub or anything, but just like, watch some of the stupid shit I do. And as of right now, I kind of want people not to watch the stupid shit I'm doing, because this is basically just putting a record onto the old fucking player, knowing damn well it has been scratched by said player 15 to 20 times, and still hoping for the full album to be played without any scratches becoming a new problem. My problem is those scratches persist in the exact same spots. And I know There's no time limit on these activities. You don't really have to worry about this dungeon with a time limit. Same thing with Shattered Throne. But let's just be honest. When you're wanting to try and go very slow and paced, you know, you're wasting upwards of 3 to 4 hours in this area. And I can't stand that. I actually want to blow past this first area like most people typically do. But I haven't found that rhythm yet. I'm still working on it. I've gotten past this area a few times. It's the second and third encounters that I'm really worried about.
So why are you soloing it?
Oh, yes. So, as Bungie's already made clear, crystal clear even, seasonal triumphs go away after the season ends. So, come tomorrow morning at 12 o'clock Central Time, this one will be gone if you haven't gotten it. There was another one that was right next to Shadowkeep. I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Undying one. But to get the Harbinger title, you have to complete the Pit of Heresy dungeon solo. And if we're going to move on from that, there is two different reasonings for doing this solo.
In the entire season I've only gotten to rank 1-4, I think.
Huh. But no, there is completing the Pit of Heresy solo, and then there's completing it solo and flawless for an emblem. I don't see many players running around with this emblem. Hell, I ask a lot of players, and they're like, yeah, I've never done that. And the ones that I do ask, they give me some good tips. I actually want to just get this emblem because I don't believe there's anyone in our clan right now who has it. I could be wrong, but then again, the majority of our clan has moved over to PC, and for those who haven't, thank God.
Gee, I wonder why.
I mean, that's the funny part.
The pit is freaking hard AF.
It's really not, especially on PC. And I say on PC because that's where the Warlock and Titan skating is actually more prevalent. It's actually easier to do. On console, it's damn near difficult to enact a Warlock or a Titan skate with the orb artifacts. And I mean, it is really fucking difficult. Because it's a whole nother level of timing. We can't set various buttons, macros. We can't do any of that. All we have are the devices in our hands, which are pre-programmed. We can select a different button layout if we wish, but we can't get that timing. And yeah, people do say that the whole higher frame rate goes a long way.
They made it nearly impossible to skate even with the computer assisting.
Oh no. Dear, if you know about Glad, if you know about all the fucking douchebags in the Redeem clan, and I do feel bad for saying that they are douchebags, but they really are. If you look at any of their content where it involves grabbing said item and just dashing through shit, you'll see them doing the old skate. It's very prevalent on PC. Just like the whole Warlock flying with a sword thing is so very prevalent on PC. You can also do it on console. But that's just because you're taking advantage of the upgraded Icarus Dash and just running like a bitch. Again, I typically don't play on my Warlock. I more or less would rather play on my Hunter or my Titan. But when it comes to doing this, the Warlock is your best bet, only for the self-heal ability and everything. Yeah, Hunters are great because they get that invisibility. You can sneak through a lot of shit. And Titans are good because of their armor, you know, weapons of dawn and everything. I was originally an OG Hunter. You know, quick, sneaky, able to take out so many Guardians in a Crucible just because I felt like it. Then One-Eyed Mask came around, and I got real sick and tired of running up against it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start using it. So I got on my Titan, I grinded the living hell out of his gear to make him strong, and that's how my Titan plays have usually been going. Wait a minute, what the hell is the boss in here? It's not the Shrieker. Of course it's the Knight. Come on. This way. Come to the guy standing at the doorway. I know y'all see me. Not to mention, if you're one of those players that abused the handheld Supernova, I feel bad for you. That shit's going bye-bye. No, it's already going bye-bye. I forgot that update is already passed. Excuse you.
As it is, I've gotten too used to my Huckleberry. Nope. Go in Thunder or...
Of course you are the Chaos Reach user. I'm not surprised. At least you're not those idiots that run around Crucible using Wall of Radiance thinking it's going to do anything good. Like, I'm sorry, but Wall of Radiance doesn't belong in the Crucible.
Membean.
Man, I remember back when Gambit and Gambit Prime were basically the good things to play and not garbage. Good old sweet, sweet different times. Unfortunately, those times have passed, and we can't really look back at those times because they are no longer present. The days where Sleeper Simulant used to be the one thing to use in Gambit.
And now they are garbage.
Well, I wouldn't say they're garbage. They're still a really fun activity, and I'm glad that certain quests and various things still require you to actually play in them, or give you the option to play in them. Hence the Devil's Ruin. I think that was the quest that we had to do.
Sadly, most things are garbage, to be honest. I haven't found a fun game mode to play. Personal feeling.
Most players nowadays are going to say, you know, just go out and play, just either do strikes, because you're always going to have somebody there to play with you, or go into Crucible and just be that Crucible player. You know, it always changes. Like, you never know what's going to happen, what's going to stay, what's going to be good. Myself, personally, I tend to stay out of Crucible as long as I possibly can, unless there's a quest that I need to go do something for, or the pinnacle weapon is actually something decent. And 9 out of 10 times the pinnacle ritual weapon is not decent.
My internet doesn't allow me to play Crucible, sadly.
Oh, that's right, I forgot you have some really bad connection out there. I mean, it probably isn't nearly as bad as my cell service out here, because that's really bad. If I didn't have any connection to Wi-Fi or anything, I wouldn't be able to do anything out here. Which sucks, because at my current location for work...
4 Mbps.
Yeah. It's better than mine. I don't have many issues when it comes to playing Crucible or anything. Alright, what are the next two logos? They're right next to each other. Perfect. Drop that shit. Alright, so we got 1 and 2.
In paying $40 for it too.
$40. Well, that also plays into it. I mean, it could be worse. You could be using a phone hotspot to play Destiny 2, where you constantly have contacting Destiny servers at the bottom of your screen. And I say that because I've had to do that before. It's not a pleasant feeling whatsoever. It's actually one of the worst things in the world.
I don't have any service at all here. I must have Wi-Fi or no call or text.
What fucking cell service do you have out there? I really shouldn't be wasting my ammo on these ads, but I'd rather have some safe places I can run to if I need.
None.
None. You don't have cell service, yet you're able to call and text. You do see the problem with saying that, right? Oh.
ATT doesn't work, Verizon doesn't work, Sprint doesn't work, nothing works.
Oh, so they haven't really put out any good radio towers out that way. That's not
Wi-Fi.
good. Alright, so that's the tower I'm going to. There's probably an ogre right below me, so I know how to
Wi-Fi
take
is
care of
how
that.
I talk and text.
Yeesh, that is really bad. And with your job currently, it's getting ever more difficult to actually communicate with you. You know, we're gonna break the old Destiny talk
and
for
they
a
do
minute
not have plans to. There is literally this bubble of area no internet providers or cell providers will come. And right down in the middle.
That is just awful. We're gonna break the Destiny talk real fast. This is
Yay,
gonna be...
I wish I had more free time to hand with you.
So, the reason I sent out that at everyone message in the channel, there is a very good reason for me sending that. I'm sure you remember Sylvan, as we all do. Well, let's just say that little soul fragment I sent out to him was starting to relay some of the information I wish I had known sooner. He hasn't been going through a whole lot of good, and just me being here, or being there for him, was actually something that put a smile on his face. Granted, with his current relationship, it's, you know, he doesn't really do as most of my pets do nowadays. He keeps all the NSFW and everything out of it, and I don't blame him. It's a good little choice for a relationship, depending on if that really is you or not. And for him, I'm happy. He's happy, that makes me happy. Do I miss the old days? Yeah, a bit. But it's not my place to decide. But I did want him to know immediately that I would be around for him no matter what. And I've held that promise for a while. And I even reminded him again,
not for
I'm going
me,
to.
but as long as he's happy and happy.
Exactly. And that's what I told him. It's like, if you're happy, that means I'm happy. I'm glad I actually decided to reach out and try to contact him when I did, because I know I've had some times where I'm not around. Times where I've disappeared. And I'm not even going to deny those times come a bit more frequently than I would like. And it does make me upset, because I do want to be there for all of you more than I am. No, okay. Of course it would beat a wizard here. We get my least favorite bosses, and of course the last one, the one below me. The one that I actually wish I would have
we
seen
in the
sooner.
family understand, dear.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck. I gotta remember that I can't fucking stand still in this for longer than a few seconds. Wait a minute, why the hell are they all pouring out on this side? Fuck out of here. But I mean, as of now, Pit of Heresy isn't really as hard as it used to be. Yeah, we don't have some of those really broken seasonal mods that we had last season, i.e. bonus damage to anything affected by your Void Grenade, which was by far one of my best abilities. I took advantage of that during the Haunted Forest. I really did. A lot of people did, actually. And yes, I know that there's a few seasonal bonuses that are actually really good. Man, why does this wizard have to move around so damn much? I think out of all the bosses, this is my least favorite.
The whole outbreak thing is annoying. I'm now working from home for a while cause of the possible outbreak in Houston.
Yeah, I wish they would have actually given us some paid time off or whatever for my job, but when it comes to a pizza place, that doesn't exist. Oh, one of y'all got sick? Alright, show up like a few days later if you're feeling better. It's like, my place of business, they don't care about their workers half the time. Like, I remember somebody got the flu during Super Bowl, which was supposedly going to be one of our busier nights. It kind of was, but at the same time
No,
it really
not paid
wasn't.
time off, just have to hone my gear works and take calls on my cell.
No, I mean, because you can't really work a pizza place from home. You know what I mean? If you're into food service, there's certain things that you cannot do. And when it comes to preparing and like sending out food, that's one of those things that you really can't do.
Yay.
Okay, this son of a bitch is really pissing me off now. And this is the only way to kill this wizard, is doing the sword slash. But with these other wizards in the area, normally I don't worry about them. Now it's just pissing me off.
Would it be possible to join a call during the stream, or that a no-go for you?
What do you mean? Like joining in the PlayStation chat, or...
PSN party.
Oh,
Yes.
that's perfect. That's perfectly fine. It's better than me having an 8-second delay and also letting the silence and everything just kick in like it has normally been. Because I do try to keep in touch with friends. I don't like doing this solo, especially when the silence kicks
Give me a
in.
minute.
Take your time, party's open.
Exactly.
Okay. Now I'm getting pissed. Hold this. I hate wasting this ammo. I hate dying to stupid shit. There you are. Yeah, just that really bad connection spot, eh? Hmm. I mean, hey. Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, my mic's not muted. Can you hear me? Alright, good. I was about to say, I wasn't muted. It happens.
Yeah.
Was that you that just dropped the message on the video? Ah, it's whatever. It's all good. That's weird.
I'm home.
God, I need to get an intro for my stream and everything still. Welcome home, sweetheart. Get yourself comfy. Yeah, don't worry, SB. I can still hear you through the party. It's probably just that whole connection BS type of thing. And more people leaving the clan because they just don't see anybody on. Cowards.
I haven't decided what I wanna do yet. Should I play Fortnite, Alien Isolation, or The Evil Within 2?
Sweetie, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're gonna play Evil Within 2, you're not just gonna want to play a little bit of it. You're gonna want to play through the entirety of it because it is a really good story. It has its moments that are a little WTF, but I advise playing that one first. And take it from me, I've already played Evil Within 2. Played both of them. So if you'd really like to, party's open, feel free to join in. I'll walk you through the game as best I can. Ugh. When my head starts to spin too much, that's probably when I'm going to start drawing. Really wish YouTube wasn't so Hitler-esque on listening to music while you're trying to stream or something. Yeah, sweetheart, I got an open party. You feel free to join whenever you want. Anytime you see me online, chances are I've got a party up. Chances are it's an open party. I've been able to hear you. If you say that you've been watching the stream, you've been hearing me say, yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear me? It's not muted. That's it, yeah, it's not muted, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Maybe his controller's just being weird? Nah. Voice is going through on the stream, so it's not the controller and it's not the headset. It's probably just your connection. That's not good. Yeah, you should know I can hear you clear as day. It's just weird that you can't hear me. Yeah, it's gotta be just your connection because, again, I can hear you clear as day. It might actually be a bit more than just that. Of course. First boss is a knight, second boss is a wizard. What's next? Or is it just gonna keep following that trend of bullshit? Because you're in the middle of Dirt County, I'd like to say and believe. Good grief. We also being quiet. What's going on there? Trying not to wake up anybody? I'm gonna have to adjust the game volume so I can actually hear you in the party. Yikes. That's not good. Shit. Alright, get back here, you chicken. I mean, honestly, you walking all the way to Forney isn't really the best of ideas. And that's mainly on the account of stepmother being the bitch that she is, and the fact which this house has more cameras on it than a fucking Walmart. It's an amazement that I can still get away with the shit I get away with. Oh, gods damn it. Is this wizard gonna be pissing me off for a second time in a row? might, it might not. Ow, ow. Finally, those two are done. Now on to the last fucking thing I have to kill, which is going to be the easiest of the three. That's Dick. Bleh. God damn, that melatonin's kicking in faster than I thought it would. Very funny, sweetheart, but I'm just recording strictly from the PlayStation right now. So what's going on is our NAT types are unsynced. If you check the party, it's probably going to say cannot talk due to NAT error. However, I can actually listen to you, hear you perfectly, but you can't hear me, which again is weird. Well, as far as it stands, I think the only way...
I'm not online.
Oh, no, sweetheart, I have, somebody that was watching the stream is currently in the party with me, but
I'm in the
VNet
shower
type
singing.
Oh, man. Swear. Cute and has more balls than I do. God damn. I miss having a primary sniper so I can pick these things off. Oh, is it not, hold on a sec, let me actually see something in there. Red thing on the side of my name, party leader, let's see. I actually have to check the party, see if, yeah, my voice is going through, which is weird. Yeah, that might help. Testing, testing, 153. It worked. I guess at that point it's becoming maybe don't turn the stream on while we're in the party, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm still just... I wouldn't even consider this a game at this point. I just consider this suffering. Heresy, not suffering. There is a fine line difference. Not even. Oh, purge that heresy. I didn't start saying that we need to talk about my life. Nah, I'm just glad I was able to be there for Sylvie. He definitely needed it. It's just going to be a hell of a lot harder to share various pictures with him. Your cat doesn't give a fuck. Come on, you should know this by now. This is why I'm a dog person. Ugh. Yeah, the barking is just annoying as shit. I have more time and patience for the dog than I do for a cat. Partially. I went to the wrong tower. F me. Yep. Pit Heresy has a total of 7 or so different towers, and you only need to go to 3 of them. I went to the wrong one. No, no, no. If I ever leave out of this activity, I will physically restart it from the very beginning, because Bungie wanted to implement a failsafe in case people were just going to rely on checkpoint systems. The fucking bastards. Again, you're gonna have to be the bearer of bad news, because it is going to happen. Typically when Luke Smith says something's gonna happen in terms of Destiny news, it does happen. It may not be immediate, but it will happen. It wasn't the relic, that was the Empyrean Foundation. Their entire goal with that was to see if players desperately wanted something added to the game. They never announced what said additional content was going to be. And even if they didn't reach the 9.7 million required number, they would have brought it back regardless after X number of months. That night was fucking retarded. I love that when that happens. Trials was going to be added back regardless anyway. The thing is that they were going to fix various problems before they brought it back. And personally, I don't like how they're saying that the artifact's power bonus is going to be playing a part in the first week. But at the same time, I don't expect people to have that thing at plus 10 to their power during the first week, so I'm not really worried. Well, the main long haul with the artifacts power bonus is people were abusing the power bonus for Iron Banner and everything of the sort. So unfortunately, yeah, I'm glad that they're going to be disabling the artifact in future Trials of Osiris matches. I just wish it would be the first one. Also, did you see what I typed into the picture sharing portion of the chat? Yes, of our chat. No, I never bring up that category of things in YouTube standards. For good reason. Eh. No, I'm talking on Discord. Yeah, I was saying I was in need of various pictures, and I know that my little group of deers isn't going to let me down. Oh, fuck. Now for the part that's going to get me killed almost immediately, I can tell. Yeah, go ahead. I'm probably going to take a leak before I go into this next part. Yep. I hate this encounter. As I was saying earlier, first encounter ain't shit. This encounter, this is where the real nightmares are. Yep. Annoying is the understatement. I've ran it a few times. I think that just the biggest problem with this part is it's not really avoiding the ogres. That's not really a trouble ground. The real trouble ground is, one, there is no, like, good set of weapons to really use. And the biggest problem with me running Mountaintop for DPS and everything is even if I'm in a well, Radiance, Healing Rift, etc., I still one-shot myself. And yeah, it's the biggest problem in the world. The ogres just make it more difficult because you actually have to play a good long game of cat and mouse where you are hiding from the enemy instead of doing anything from it. If it wasn't for all the acolytes, the knights, everything, this encounter would actually be pretty fucking simple and self-explanatory. Melee the thrall, damn it! That's another thing that I really wish they wouldn't have put in. Yeah, go into a cave, kill knight. Simple.
The party seems to be maxed out.
How is the party maxed out? There's only 2 people in it. Excuse me? Hold on a sec. Of course it glitched out because whenever you invite people. Hold on, sweetie. I'm about to fix that issue. I've talked about him, but I haven't really, you know, had y'all talking with each other. Let's just say it's the love of my life. Alright, dear, party should be fixed. Yeah, that melatonin is actually kicking in faster than it usually does. You know, I want to go ahead and just point this out because I pointed it out to the artist that has decided to help me out with my channel with the whole donations and everything. But this isn't a new virus. I just want people to go ahead and realize this. Coronavirus has been around for years prior. It's definitely been known in cattle. Not even that. Not even that at all. The coronavirus was already predetermined and found in livestock, primarily cattle, backwards of almost 5 or so years. There's already been a cure for it. There's just no human testing because no one wants to see side effects. Plus, let's be honest, diverting a cure that was meant for livestock and trying to use that on humans never really goes according to plan. I'd say fucking give me the cure. I don't care. For me, it's just, I'd rather die knowing that it's leading to the salvation of human race rather than sit back and say, I'm scared of fucking needles, keep that shit away from me, it hasn't been tested. No, I'm talking about most of the little special snowflakes in the world today anyway. And I can just imagine that they finally do bring out a cure for fucking coronavirus. Anti-vax moms are going to be the reason why the human race is dying. You know, one of my friends from high school actually brings up a really good point. If all the things that people have been fighting to become, more open about, same-sex marriage, all that fun shit, furries for a big example as well, if all that is said to really go to hell, I'm not even mad. That just means hell's gonna be fun. Yeah, exactly. Who said I wanted to go live the rest of my eternal life with family members? No, thank you. If I'm shooting pool with some really famous actors and or songwriters, yeah, I'm okay with that. I do believe I've heard of that one. So basically what they did with the American Dad equivalent, when Stan freezes to death in the middle of a fucking winter because he was a dumbass trying to get a Christmas tree for the family, the old-fashioned way, dies in the cold, never wakes up, and it's just a personalized heaven. See, that was something they never really branched into. It was more like you don't want to leave your room. I mean, let's just go ahead and bring out that darker side of me that I'm sure you remember. I'm sure everyone from my high school group of friends remembers. If what people say is true, when you die, your life flashes before your eyes. The mind basically can transfer time to where a minute is a second, and thus further. I'm saying, who's to say if we were ever really alive? What if we're currently dead and reliving our memories? Doing a really shitty job. I'm just waiting for all of Texas to be thrown into martial law. Sorry, Chief, can't come into work today. Bullshit, you're gonna get fired. Can't come into work today because martial law. Why the hell are you disobeying it? I mean, I'm not scared. I actually would rather be the force driving said fire. I mean, we've been dealing with overpopulation for a while, so again, I've just been waiting for something to come and kind of clear away some of the numbers. By the way, there's a website you can go to actually track who all is infected and who all has died from the coronavirus. Thank you, CDC. Made my job easier. I wouldn't say it's the media. It's literally the CDC's got a tracker in place where every reported case and reported casualty is all on there, graphs and all. No names, sadly, so it's only a partial bit of my job that became easier. The remaining part is figuring out the names, and where they died, and where their soul is currently resting, or haunting. Explain what you were referencing, and I might be able to pinpoint that. Um, Partially. I can't give an immediate yes or an immediate no. Creepy ass, disturbing creature that has an obsession with apples. I mean, at the same time, sweetheart, don't you compare me to something, I wouldn't say similar, but close enough to that, but different? I can't remember the exact show, but I know you've made numerous references towards it when it comes to you and I.
What?
Hold on, I'm getting shot at. Let me get some cover real fast. And yes, casual conversation of what, I can't remember the name of the anime it was. If I could, I would remember it. Fuck. This is gonna take a while.
Side grade. Explosions.
So you're actually playing Evil Within 2?
Not yet. It's downloading.
Ugh. The worst thing in the world.
Who's Toby? Who's Toby the Titan? That's one of your friends, isn't it?
What?
Toby the Titan, that's one of your friends, right?
Where are you seeing that name?
It's in Fortnite.
Not quite sure. That name doesn't ring any bells to me. Uh... Why do I have a feeling Macmillan was in charge of some of that game's design? Oh wait, he probably wasn't, because we're still waiting on the last chapter of The Binding of Isaac. Years down the road! Yeah, I'm just saying, when that new DLC comes out, not only are people going to be disappointed, because let's be honest, that's what the last DLC did, was a bit of disappointment. The community stuff is like the main reason why people play it still. Oh, they're very nice. Except for the people that go a little too far for the mods. Forgot there was that mode. Damn it. Motherfucker. Someone's gonna get kicked to the crotch.
Wait, for what?
Oh, yeah, if my laptop wasn't so shitty and could actually run TF2, I would actually let it attempt to run The Binding of Isaac. Oh, that's not even a lie. I can't deny that. The biggest issue with TF2 for me was run smooth as hell until you start shooting. That's when the frames drop immediately. I hate that gun. I troll my friends when they start playing Borderlands 2 to get it, because it's not bad. But I hate that gun to no end. Oh, I fucking hate my life. Remember I was talking about how the mountaintop can just outright murder me? I gotta remember mountaintop ain't a secondary. I swap off my anarchy, which is a heavy, and I see green. I'm like, oh, it's a
Wait a minute,
secondary,
is
no
he
big
a
deal.
gold Midas already?
Do you think that surprises? Is that supposed to surprise you? Solid Gold Midas is like the first thing you unlock. The other characters you have to go up past level 100 for.
Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah, just like last game or last season, if you will, the whole corruption with the scratch skin. Every character starts to become solid gold after you get past level 100. Some characters get solid gold faster, whereas the last skin to become solid gold, if memory serves, is the Peely skin, which, again, I hate that skin.
Wait, is that only in, like, Save the World?
No, this is in Battle Royale. Save the World is its own little thing.
Wait, how do you get the Midas skin?
It's the very last skin you unlock, level 100. And honestly, I'm kind of glad it's all the way up at level 100. That skin looks like crap. Keanu, John Wick. The if you shoot at this motherfucker, you are screwed back in season 3. Now it's kind of a gamble. And I just have that fucking Xbox exclusive skin because every PlayStation user that sees me with that skin, they're thinking, oh shit, I'm playing with Xbox players. Nah, fam, you playing with somebody who has friends. Yeah, that can happen. But what you can do is you can go into your Epic account and you can actually remove it. That's really how it works because I've removed my Switch account and I've put it back on. Ugh. So just Sony and Epic. See, I really don't believe that, in all honesty, because let's just put it this way. If you're able to just remove X accounts and put on Y accounts, just free as all hell, I think what they're not telling you is it's a certain amount of time that has to pass before you can connect another one to said account. Ugh, I haven't touched that game in a long ass time. What's coming in 2 days? I've literally lost all. Oh, that's right, the PC one. Is that the first one for PC? No, I mean the first Safi. Colv doesn't count as a siege anymore because it's so pathetic. Considering the fact I have all their recent updates and everything on a certain web page, I've read nothing of the sort. However, I can tell you that the second Safi Jiva quest that comes to PC is going to be a shared quest that's also going to be dropping on consoles. What their intent with that is, well, you should be able to guess it just by me saying that part. That's what they're going for. Yeah, you're going to see me rocking the full armor set with my really weird-ass combination of Devil May Cry armor and Wiggler head. I got tired of going after Safi with fucking charge blade, so I just picked up a fucking heavy bow gun and was like, screw it, you're dying. Plus I had to get a shitload of the wings, and that was the best way to really break them. Because no one else was able to do anything except for the fucking insect glaive users. Rest in peace, Whirlycopter. The Whirlybird players, the reason why I end up failing most quests nowadays. SB, do you remember that I actually managed to kill the final creature in Iceborne while completely hammered? I was blackout drunk that night, and I still managed to go through that entire fight without dying. About that creature in general, that thing still gives me nightmare fuel. I mean, you know what's worse? Okay. Hold on. We want to talk breaking the fourth wall? Give me just a sec. I got something I want to send to you on Discord. You ain't seen shit yet. Good. Oh, okay, yeah, there's the button. I was gonna say, if Discord started to make it to where it's just like Facebook Messenger in terms of I cannot send various pictures because it doesn't let me pull up my files, which pisses me off, I would tell you it's going to take me even longer to find this picture. But that's not the case. But nah, we want to talk creepy shit. There's people going around drawing stuff like this. It's an amazing, yet very horrifying thing. All monsters are bosses, except for the beginning ones. Those are just pincushions. But now, what are your... Okay, one, there are two different ways people saw that creature. Its intro cutscene, which was awesome, and me during the fight. Why is there so much fucking water here? I'm a charge blade user that relies heavily on movement. And the fact of which that I already have enough struggling, and I've gone after 2 tempered Kirans before. Do you really think electricity and me are friends? Nothing. There is nothing good about Kiran. I don't know a single Monster Hunter player who's like, dude, I love Kiran, let's go fight one. I'm like, yeah, no. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just say this now. I played 3. All y'all New World Hunters want to say Devil Joe is the worst thing in the game. Bitch, please. You don't know how bad it was when that fucker used to eat his own tail to recover 50% of his health. I don't want to hear it. Fatalis... Fatalis wasn't really as hard. Fatalis wasn't as... He wasn't as hard as people gave him credit for. Electrion, however, that fucker was hard. I'm just gonna go ahead and call up one of my friends from high school who plays trombone and have him ready for the reveal. Because I have a feeling we're gonna need it. Like, I don't want to crush the community's dreams, but no, they're not bringing Fatalis into the new world. Everyone wants to hope and pray, but there's really no reason for it. Now, the one monster I wish they would add, just for my own nostalgia's sake, Valstrax. The living embodiment of a fucking jet. Why? Because its music and generation was beautiful. The people that did a heavy metal cover for it, even better. Like, that's the one thing that I would actually be happy as hell to get back. Instead, what do they give us? They gave us no one's favorite. They give us a lot of no one's favorites. I'm sorry, but Mr. Greatsword Tail isn't really a fan favorite. That's more of a fan fuck, I'm gonna die. Yeah, you have fun with that. It just reminds me of my time spent playing fucking Dark Souls. I don't want that. Nobody wanted that. Nobody wants to relive the nightmares of you've been invaded by insert random and stupid name here. A Dogron's fun. He's just an angry, pissed off puppy. He's the living embodiment of fuck you, and you will call him as such. Again, you're the weapon that gives little to no shits about the monster or its mobility. I'm the one that actually has to... That makes it easier! You just have bad luck with the muscle puppy. Yes, because I just want to go in. I just want to go into a bush, crouch, lick my wounds, or slap a piece of jerky on it for some fucking reason that works. How and why does that work? Lick jerky, adhere jerky like a band-aid. Hope to God the jerky melts on said wound. That's literally how it is. Nerd. I'm sorry, like, I remember when I actually got the freedom to hunt Nergi as just a standalone. I was like, alright, this motherfucker's going down. Oh, there's a lot. It's a spiky boy! Oh no, that Nergi is completely new. He is new. There's no other installation of him. The only things... There's not even returning Elder... Well, no, I take that back. Kieran's returning. Kushala's returning. Teostra's returning. Valazak's new, but he's also just a living mold that can siphon a soul from a living creature by the power of said mold. Well, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say this because I speak for at least 50% of the community. Thank God underwater battles aren't a thing. Why? Because there'd be... No, there is absolutely no possibility for world that underwater battling will become a thing. I have a feeling you were... I'm sorry, but this coming from... This is back when I was living with my friend who played all open betas and all open alphas. There were no water battles. And thank God there weren't. Oh, the, fuck, what is it? I don't even think that's a Worlds thing. I think that was more like a... No, not even... Gen Ultimate doesn't even have underwater combat. Okay, there's only a few that fit that category, and those would either be Lagiacrus, which isn't in Worlds. Yep, the electric lizard that basically caused many players to break their DSs. And Wii U consoles. Ugh. See, Well, if it was a creature that had a deep sapphire coloration with red eyes, it probably would have been Abyssal Lagiacrus, which is kind of a dick of the three Lagiacrus brands. Yeah, none of... That is not Lagiacrus at all. That's Gabul, and that is one of the most annoying fights I've had, second to only one. We all know what the most hated underwater battle from 3 was, and the reason why every hunter is praying that there's no underwater battles in any future installment. And I do believe I've told the entire Discord group about said creature. The story being of the man who got hip checked, who wasn't playing Monster Hunter, and was just calmly exiting his shower. He got hip checked onto the fucking bathroom floor. That's the one monster that I'm happy is not in Worlds, and God, as my witness, better never come to Worlds. If Plesioth ever involves coming into the game, fuck that. Yeah, Lagiacrus is fine with me. I'm okay with that. Why? Because I fought it so many times that its little abilities are actually easy to fucking predict and dodge. Uh-huh, go on. I want to hear. Barryoth is funny. He's a bitch, but he's funny. Tigrex is definitely a bitch. Oh, you think it's just that the broken hitbox is the biggest problem? My dear, no. His subspecies is worse. You know, one of my friends, the one I was spending yesterday with, because I haven't been with him since he got into a car crash, we were actually joking around, like, we were talking about games and stuff, and he starts talking about Monster Hunter. I'm like, man, the only reasons I'll ever play that game is if I ever get the itch to go kill something that's 50 times my size. And he's like, oh yeah, speaking of that, I'm actually almost at Silver Rathalos Gold Rathian territory. I'm like, have fun with that shit. And I warned him, it's like, I warned him, I was like, if I ever get on to Monster Hunter and I see that I get an invite from you within 5 seconds of the game starting, I'm dropping out of Monster Hunter and I'm gonna go play something else. He's like, you know why I'm inviting you? I was like, no, because his words exactly, because we have a friend that also plays it. I only trust Dante when it comes to fucking Silver Rathalos and Golden Rathian. I'm like, so he told you the story of how he's the reason why we keep failing those, because he gets carted off twice, and I get carted off while he's trying to kill him a third time over. Oh, here's the thing though. Once you get to the gold and silver variations, they are nothing like their originals. They're actually more different. The diversity of such, the more ferocity and fire attacks, the bullshit poison that Gold Rathian can put on you. Imagine, did you play Gen at all? Alright, so Generations and World, Generations and 4 is 2 separate games. Now, what happened was Capcom decided it would be an amazingly funny idea, and they fucked this up, and I cannot stress it enough, they really fucked it up, but they gave Pink Rathian what is considered the deadly poison which is double the damage, double the duration, and just overall a giant fuck you to normal poison. Nope. Not even Viper can get you that bad. It just has normal poison. It has master rank poison. In the old games, you could tell the difference because your health bar would turn purple, or it would turn a really light pink. In Worlds, there's really no difference because there's always going to be a three bubble for poison. Alright. They typically go in by stages of 10. It used to be stages of 5, but they changed it because people were getting one-shot by various mobs. So, say you have an armor set that is, you know, roundabout negative 15 to fire. That is, you're going to be taking an additional 15 damage from fire-based attacks.
Acknowledged.
What I'm rocking is the full Safi Jiva armor set. Be glad you don't. Be glad you don't have access to it. It's a self-damaging armor set. No, it's taking damage with every swing, every shot, even if it's a miss. It takes a decent chunk of your health. Yeah, after 6 or 7 shots, depending on what you're using. And, I mean, I really hate to say, like, it could be an amazing set. If you're using, like, a light bow gun that can really get some shots off quickly, then hell yeah, it's an amazing set. But if you're using something like Greatsword, which does more raw damage than anything, you're screwed. And people always question, like, what the hell do you mean by you're screwed with that? I'm like, well, first off, Greatswords, since they rely heavily on just raw damage over anything else, they in turn take the most return damage from Safi's Curse. Whereas if you were to use something like Sword and Shield, yeah, you'd have to get a total of almost 20 or so hits before you get your health back. It's not nearly as bad. I don't even like wearing Nergi armor anymore. It used to be the good thing to wear. Used to be. And then something came up and, you know, better armor sets. Personally, if the Black Veil Val Hazak armor set didn't look, I mean, was actually really good in terms of its defenses, the only downside of it is, well, its defense towards damn near everything. Otherwise, it's an amazing armor. And I'll happily wear it. That, and it gives me an Avenged Sevenfold flashback, because it really does look like the fucking... Well, it looks like everybody's fan art of the main band's icon during the whole, you know, that one album, I can't remember it. Shepherd of Fire. Like, I look at that armor set, I'm like, man, why do I want to listen to Hail to the King 50 times louder than it should be played? Like, I actually want to make the helmet for that armor set in real life just because it looks fucking cool. That's just me. It's why I'm glad layered armor sets are a thing. My only grief with that is, why couldn't we get layered armor sets for the new shit?
Checking now.
Like, they should have just gone ahead and they made some of it, like, immediate, like, oh yeah, it's layered armor, you get it immediately, which is cool.
Step on up. Take a look.
But it's still just a giant fucking fist to the face.
2 hours to the wall. 2 hours back.
I'm gonna be so happy to see. Well, not even. I'm actually upset with Eververse's choice of what the new armor sets for the Guardians are gonna look like for next season. It's not cool. It's shitty. And why the fuck did they...
Don't get too distracted.
Actually,
by the
no.
new setup,
That ornament
Guardian.
works. That ornament works a lot, actually. Never mind. I was about to bitch. But that one actually makes sense. They already gave the Warlock the skull of an Ahamkara. They gave us the ornament to make it look like Riven's face.
Bad rattle in this one.
Bungie, I have to question your motives. A lot.
It's not so bad here. Take as long as you like. I can wait. Looking for something in particular?
Checking right.
That and just personal favorite jokative thing. The real final boss of Destiny.
We
Eververse.
drove the Red Legion out. We'll do the same to whomever comes next. Our
You know, I really wish they would have done away with the whole silver thing as soon as Activision was just like yeeted out of the fucking studio. Because even back in D1, Eververse was never that much of an issue. But ever since Activision started to become more involved with Destiny 2, they became a bitch and a half. I don't even know why the hell I'm loading back into fucking Pit of Heresy. It's almost 2 o'clock and I'm starting to pass. Yeah, I gotta make sure that I'm up by at least 10:30 tomorrow so I can get ready for the download for the next season. Even though I gotta work tomorrow, I'm still gonna try and get a few missions or something in. But I'd say a lot of people have been saying that. I'm like, wait, didn't y'all get like the $60 version of Shadowkeep when it came out? So you got... It does come with this next season. We've only been through 2 seasons. It comes with the next 3 seasons, including Shadowkeep. So I'm just saying, like, if you spent the $60 for Shadowkeep, which, considering Shadowkeep on its own was only $30, not $60, did you have to pay for this season and the last season? Then you didn't buy the you didn't buy the pack that came with everything. I got the $60 version because, you know, I didn't feel like dropping money on a new season when it came out. And I'm glad, because I don't remember if it was saying the $30 was for, you know, Shadowkeep and Season of Undying, because technically that was all listed as one thing, and then 3 seasons after that. So I don't know if it's Undying, this one, and Worthy, and I have to pay for the next, or if it's this one, Worthy, and whatever the one after is, before I have to pay again. I don't know. I guess I'll wait and see. But I won't even deny it. This season, I'm glad I didn't go all the way with the season pass. Happy that I got the 2 weapons. Could care less that I don't have everything else. And something that I've already spoken to with my clan, a lot of community members have been speaking about it as well. Get rid of these fond memory engrams. We don't want them. For all the die-hard Destiny 2 players, nobody wanted them. Even if you missed a certain emblem, or a certain emote, or a certain shader, or anything, we don't want it. Bring out the new shit. Like, my biggest thing is, everybody's worried about the whole, like, expiration date for the weapons. You can still keep them. You can still use them. You just can't keep bringing them up to power. That doesn't really change the fact at all, actually. Because what's going on is they're bringing in weapons to replace these things once they expire, and by expire, you can still technically use them in various areas, such as the normal Nightfall, not the Nightfall strikes, but typically your normal strikes, you can still use them there. Normal Crucible, you can still use them there. Gambit, if you're not invading, you still use it there. Just exploring the dang world for what it is, use them there. The only thing that you're really limited to using your old gear on is going to be competitive, trials, Iron Banner, raids, and Nightfalls. And even to that somewhat point, the predetermined number is probably going to be, I'd like to say, 20 to 30 lights short of what the max light cap is going to be. So even then, you can still use your old weapons in a variety of places. I'm actually going to be happy with it for some parts. Not all of them, because I want to use certain weapons in certain places. It just... Yeah, that's my main beef was, why give us... And this is just my beef for the like the really difficult pinnacle weapon quests. Well, Not Forgotten. Luna's Hell wasn't really that difficult. Not Forgotten, bitch and a half. That's making me feel like all the work I put in to get that weapon is just down to trash. Same thing for Mountaintop to an extent, because I got that before they nerfed the quest. Before they made it easier to get it. And if Redrix's broadsword was decent, I would say that too, but it isn't. See, I don't think the armor sets are going to be affected personally. It's more or less just the weapons. Because you can use whatever armor set, as long as it's a legendary variation or an exotic, it's always going to be empowered. You can always get it up higher. The main problem is the weapons. Because you can just... Here's the thing. Even if you... Say you got like an old armor set from Forsaken. It had really nice strength and mobility. You're happy with it. And you want to just keep using that. That's fine. The main expiration date thing is just for the weapons. It's basically going to be combating everybody that's saying that they're going to run into trials using their world famous Dust Rock Blues and Mindbenders combination. Or, lo and behold, people that run around with the Revoker still, because that's basically a newbie sniper's favorite weapon. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and read off a perk. You know Mulligan, right? Missing a shot gives you a chance to get the ammo back. This has Mulligan, but 100% guarantee that you're going to get your missed shot back after approximately 4 seconds. Not entirely. With Icebreaker, you get your ammo back regardless because it charges its own ammunition. With this, if your bullet does not hit a target at all, it just hits a wall, hits the floor, hits the atmosphere, your shot comes back to you after 4 seconds. But if you actually hit your target, whether it be a body shot or a headshot, either or, it counts. And that's why people say that this is the newbie experience for sniping. Literally, the perk reads as follows. Missing a shot returns the bullet to the magazine after a short duration. Now, oh boy, how so? Oh, you're not gonna like how many times I completed it and got mine. Oh, lucky fucking them. Now, let me just go ahead and pull up my actual emblems for raids. Wait, he only gets one character? What do you mean by that? That's the glory of when Shadowkeep came out. All your characters get thrown in to at least Forsaken tier of power, and gaining power up to Shadowkeep regard standards is actually really easy. It literally takes you about 2 hours. At most. Makes sense. I'll use any of my character slots, especially when it comes to raids, because I know how to do DPS with hunters primarily, because I was a golden gun user back in D1. I know how to use Titan properly, because I was always a defender Titan. No one else wanted to do it. Warlocks, it just depends on what's really going on, what's needed. It's kind of a fill in the gaps, but for the most part it's well radiance, which is as simple as I just don't care for the Warlock. Hey, I'm sorry, dear, but here's how I see characters: Sneaky Bastard, Space Pixie, Crayon Eating Marine. Do you understand any of that? Sneaky Bastard for Hunter, Space Pixie for Warlock, Crayon Eating Marine for Titan. Kind of self-explanatory for most of those names. But no. 1,000 voices, 19 completions. Anarchy, 8 completions. Week 1 completion of Crown of Sorrow, only done it 3 times. Never saw terrible. Never want to get it. Even for collection's sake, I don't care. About to say, Garden of Salvation. Done it once, because the entirety of that raid is just AIDS. I hate it. I hate it so much. Fun raid. Love the encounters. I hate the mechanics. I've only done it once, and that was when I went to go get my divinity. We started at the very beginning. We went all the way to the end. We did all the puzzles. It was a nightmare. There were so many glitches. But we got it done, and that was that. Vault of Glass didn't have nearly as much glitches. But no. Don't worry, Crimson Echoes emblem. I'll get you one day. Today, sadly, was not that day. Probably see if I have gear that I can send back to the Titan. Of course I got gear I can send back to the Titan. Despite I might want to play my Hunter for the start of the next DLC, I really don't know yet. I believe the Revoker, I didn't actually send that to any of my characters. I never used primary snipers. Yeah, I can leave the Titan as it is when it comes to the weapons. That's all fine. Alright. Set some alarms. Make sure I wake up. The game is telling you to go the fuck to sleep. Just like Destiny's telling me to do the same thing. Oh no. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off for tonight. Alright, get some sleep, aight? Good boy. Night night.